Give me like 135. No, give me the whole max load. Who cares? Plant matter, I guess. Oh yeah, I can like pull. This will be 5 minutes. I'm just gonna keep doing circles around Fab. Look, every time I go, it's like 8 million, and it adds up. It's gonna add up. If I do it all day, every day, for a while, it'll add up to like a bill so quick. Maybe my goal should be to just hustle the hypernet as a poor player, and then buy monthlies. It's too much work, but I mean, you know, eh. One of the problems is I don't really need the materials that I'm farming. Is that everything here? No, there's other stuff, but I mean, it'll cook and I'll move it if I need to. Ah, I should get moving. Rust, Mortal, and Once Human, maybe? That would be a good... It's like... Then just cycle out games when I get sick of these. Maybe instead of Eve, I play FFXI, or maybe instead of Mortal, I play Rust, or whatever. I love this bow. I want to tune up this bow. Yeah, I wonder if I should run bow, shotgun. Raha is good. I can make gear. I mean, guns are way better. I want to make guns. I will make an LMG. Or I don't know if they give you that. I think you have to find the guns in this, actually. I don't remember. I didn't like this last time because I didn't think to move the fucking base. I don't know if you can move the base. These guys are going to eat up this belt really quick. And they'll be gone. But I mean, it's so close to Jita, who cares? And I'll make 50 million doing it. Rookie, local, and active ship. There we go. And I want to lock. I'm going to keep it on rookie and just read it all day. I wish I could make the chat bigger. I could make the UI bigger, I guess. But it's like, eh. Oh, what was that? This feels better than normal Once Human. What the hell was that sound? Someone fire at me? I thought somebody fired a shotgun at me. I was like, what the hell is that sound? Oh, I broke my nail. I like the way it looks when you shoot them with the bow. Raid zone ships, whatever those are. What's raid zone ships? Orange soup is good. Oh. These sandbox games that have PvP is where I belong. I should stop fighting it. I know it's so toxic. It makes me so angry so often. Ooh, weapon crate. Luminara. Come on, weapon. Basic supply card. It wasn't a weapon. You lied to me. Well, let's see if I can kill Luminara, I guess. She looks scary. if I should. What happened? Oh no. Oh, that's not too good. Fuck. Just one shot. Oh. Should've moved my tent. I wasn't thinking about it. Ugh. Did I lose everything? Yeah, everything. I have to get my kit back. Let's run down this fucking road again for a long time. Hey, what are these settings? Because it's a little bit fast. Meh. Here's someone's house right on the fucking road. Yep, and there's no door showing. You have to blow in. Or no, I guess maybe there is. I don't know. Let's go see. If it's on... I don't even have a weapon, so what does it matter? There's another base. Is that guy on the fucking roof? Yeah, I think he is on the roof. He's on the roof just sitting there. Well, if I had a weapon, I'd rob him, but I don't. I don't have a fucking weapon. Why is he sitting there? That's so weird. I'm not making any noise. Can't die to this stupid mob again. I don't even want to aggro it. The only advantage I had was the suitcase, and it immediately went away when I fired at her. And I was like, what the hell, man? So, before we go in there... Graywood. Graywood. Whitewood. Sell. There's 40 gold. Now we're at 211. I want to keep going. I go, let's see, where did I go last time? I was like out there around the outer rim that way, I think. So we'll go out this direction again. I'll go out by the river because the guards are really here. They're like actually here to protect. And I'll go Whitewood, yeah. Oh god, what's that? Fuck was that? Weapon crate. There's hella stuff here. This feels good. It feels better than, I said this last time. I was like, this feels better than Arc Raiders, because you can build a base. But it feels like exactly like Arc Raiders. Ooh, Pioneer Gloves. Are they actually, like, on me? Yes, they are. Good. Did I pull another weapon? No. Almost to where I want to go. I didn't realize there was all this shit here. I didn't come from this direction. Come on, big money. It was something. Oh, SMG body, damn it. Oh well. I knew it. Come on, something good. Pioneer pants. Yeah, it's better than nothing. Night falls. Zap cam. Ooh, I got a deviation. Let's get towards dinner. After 7 p.m. on January 29th, which is tomorrow, the original 7-day corrosion protection will end and territory corrosion in deviant zones resumes. Deviants and master zones will damage territories normally. Meta should plan placement strategically. Thanks for your support. Okay, so I went a little too south, apparently. Oops. Yeah, this is the place, isn't it? I feel like they changed the layout a little bit. Maybe it procedurally generates it a little differently, maybe, actually. Oh no, wait. So in the game, once human in the mode raid zone, can you teleport back to base? Is teleportation possible? I can't remember.
In Once Human, the short answer is no. You generally cannot teleport directly back to your territory while inside a dedicated raid zone or a securement silo. Here is a quick breakdown of how movement and exits work in those high-intensity zones. 1. Restricted teleportation. Once you enter a raid or silo instance, you are in a locked state. The map functions differently, and your standard teleportation tower or home teleport options are disabled. This is to prevent players from cheesing the boss fights or escaping death by warping away. Point 2. How to exit. If you need to leave before finishing, you have a few options. The entrance portal, you can physically run back to the start of the zone and interact with the door/portal you entered through. Completion. Defeating the final boss will spawn an exit portal that usually places you right back at the entrance in the open world. Emergency leave party/instance. You can sometimes leave the instance via the team menu, but this may trigger a cooldown or cause you to lose progress. Point 3. Gear and durability. Since you can't just pop home to repair your gear mid-raid, it is a common player habit to use a portable repair tool if you have them crafted. Ensure all gear is at 100% durability before clicking enter. Would you like me to look up the best gear builds or specific boss mechanics for the raid zone you're currently tackling?
Oh look, they built a 2x1. Well, yeah, but... Oh, hi, kitty.
The classic 2x1. It's the universal symbol of I'm just starting out or I'm hiding something very... But it's probably a trap,
Ouch,
isn't it?
Stop.
It's an empty box designed to make you waste your limited...
Stop it. Hi, kitty, you were scratching me. Don't scratch me. Yeah, I know it's dinner time, kitty. I'm gonna feed you. Oops. They want to be Rust so bad. And then I timed out. I had this idea about turrets. But if I want it, I've got to do it now. Because you can't edit. Yeah, all I want in here is a ladder to a door. Yep, and I'll be able to put turrets, like, all around this thing, I think, and that's not a bad plan. Oh no, this didn't work. I'll need to move this. Yeah, I believe that's actually it. Yeah, I think that's it. Yep, that's it. And then we'll move these up there. I want a stone roof. It's weird that I can't find flat, like, roof. Where's the flat roof? No, I want, stone ceiling there. Okay, up here is a 3x3, but it's up higher. Right? I don't know. It's got profile already. But yeah, that's what I want, though. I don't care. Insufficient materials. Okay, then make it wood. No, you have to use doors, huh? So I will have to put a door here, yeah. But then I can make this thing an open core, and that will work for defense just fine, so... Oh, kitty, I gotta feed you here in just a minute, but I gotta make this secure. Yep. And then up in here, I make this a wall. Yep, wall. Wall. Oh, I'm gonna run out of wood. Son of a bitch, cannot be placed here. What do you mean cannot be placed here? Now I'm out of wood and I'll have to chop wood, but I'm doing okay. I wish this guy wasn't here. It seems so glitched and weird. Yep, it would just put turrets all along the bottom. I've got to relocate this. Up here somewhere, like... I guess it would be... here. Yeah, like right here. Yep. Then we have to put a door, but I don't have any wood, so get me some wood. Oh, I DC'd. That's odd. Wait, what? The client is acting up. What is a battle unit? It's a kind of glitch. I'll pull 1.1 billion just like logging in. Jesus Christ. That's so much money to me. I think I want to go Archer or Mage. Because I can shoot at them while they run up to me and take like half their bar and it costs no mana. I don't have to use like reagents all the time. Or sorry, I cast spells while they're far away from me, and when they get close to me, I pull out the archery. Because they interrupt your spell casting if they're attacking you. And I just pull out the archery and pepper them with that instant attack. And that's the spec I'm going to do on my alt, and that opens her up a bit. I've been going this way. Yeah, we'll go this way, I guess. Okay, so now I'm going to reload Warzone. Or Ray Zone, I mean. Oh, my fucking keyboard is low. I'm going to plug it in. There we go. Oh, I love my kitty. I love my kitty. She's such a good, good kitty. Dapplewood. Whitewood. Oh, I love my kitty. I just like touching her. Yeah, she's such a good little kitty. I just like her so much. She's such a good little kitty. You can't raid this late at night anyways, so I'm totally safe to build. It's a good time to build. Oh, they put you at level 50 and they keep you equal, do they? Oh, okay. That's what it is? I didn't realize. Okay, kitty, I love you, but it's time to feed you. It's dinner time, kitty. You ready? You ready, kitty? You want some dinner? Yeah. Hey, kitty, you want some dinner? Yeah. Feed you? Does that sound good? Yeah, yeah, okay. Let's feed you. Yeah, yeah. All right. Okay, kitty. All right, kitty. Ready? There you go. There's your dinner. You like watch me do it now. You're such a weird little kitty. Oh, I'm not gonna drop anything. There you go. Food and water. Good food and water for the kitty. A couple bites of my dinner, but not the whole thing. You didn't want food, kitty? You're weird. I feel like I'm wasting food on you now. We kill the light now. It's starting to get late. Okay, back to raid zone. One of the nice things is I can log and they can't do anything to me. There we go. This tree is down. They're all gone.
Warp drive active.
On to the next ice belt. Mid-Solon. I will take my ice with me there. In Mid-Solon, there is the Mega Ice Refinery, which is where I'm going. But first, we dock and pull the ice that we already farmed. And in this way, I'll go out and I will make like 60 to 100 mil every day, and I will have lots of money.
Docking request accepted.
And it's fairly passive. It's got some clicks involved, but it's a lot less than even Faction Warfare. It's a lot safer than Faction Warfare. I like Faction Warfare, but it's also stressful. It's like fucking stressful. You're worried all the time somebody's gonna jump in. You have to move all the time. You have to pay attention sometimes. You have to duel somebody and win. And I like that sometimes when I'm feeling bored, but right now I feel like just sitting there and fattening my pockets while I'm still making, you know, good skill. I'm at this point now where I don't need to really train for anything until they give me something to do. Yeah, I can do like everything I want to do in like a Gila. Or other ships. There's other good ships out there. Now, I can be killed here, but I can't be... There we go. That's the way out. This is the way in. Now we're hoping to just plug this whole thing. Wait, cannot be placed here. I don't really understand that. So just do this. I don't want this then. If this won't work, then we'll just do a wall. That's fine. I don't know why it doesn't like that, but it doesn't. So, whatever. You know, that's fine. Insufficient materials, but we're safer up here anyways. Safer. I don't know. I would prefer windows up here, honestly. And I don't know why I did with walls. Remove. It's alright. It was wasteful, but it's not that wasteful. It's fine. This is a good time of day to build. Yep, good. Yeah, it's like a little 3x3. That's, or a 4x4, I guess. Or, yeah, it would have been a 4x4 if it had more support. I guess this is kind of more permanent than I want it to be. I think I want to move, well, yeah, I think I want to relocate that right here. Yeah. That's okay. Well, no, I mean, like, I want to put a ring of turrets all around this, except for, like, the entry. And we need, like, platforms to do that on. And it didn't like putting a platform right here for some reason. I don't know. And I gotta be careful about permanency, because then I can't fix it. And I have to blow it. Yeah, I want, like, walls. If they have to blow doors, I mean, I don't know. I could build a really big base and try to keep them the fuck out. I don't really see why not. It takes time. But I don't mind that. That reminds me of Rust. Rust is like this. You kind of do have to make a really big base. With the right amount of honeycomb and the right amount of, shit, I kind of, like, destroyed all my cover here, which sucks, and I shouldn't have done that. But oh well, maybe they'll grow back. We could do honeycomb walls with windows. Well, no, I could put walls all around this, and then I could do like 10 doors, and that's like Rust. I mean, that's a lot. I'm used to that. I'm used to that, like Rust. It's funny, but nope. There, better. Yeah, if we want honeycomb, and then in here, I want 4 turrets. Or I don't know. No, I don't. One of these will have to be a door. And I want to be able to get in. Oh no, I guess it would be a wall. Yeah, it would be a wall. So let's build it how I would build it in Rust. Wall, wall, wall. I'll put turrets on a rim all outside the building, so they can't even approach without getting fired at. And plus, I think the mobs attack this, so maybe I should have considered building out in the water, but I don't think they let you do that. Did I do this right? No, I'm gonna need... Oh yeah, I'm gonna need a door. Yeah, I'm gonna need a door, yeah. Door... Or, sorry, wall. Wall. Yep. Oh, I wanted windows. I wanted windows, I guess. Which is expensive. And I used up a bunch of shitty wood doing this, and I fucked up, kind of. I did, I fucked up, kind of. But I mean, I don't know. I kind of got it. I'll put a turret right here. What the hell is that? Please stop it. Control? Wait, what? Oh. Oh, it's my thingy? Yeah, so what does this do? Because this is the power limiter generator to electric. Oh, okay, I don't want that then. I want to withdraw and then put the zap cam in there. And then syncability. Okay. So, I made a door going out so I could go out. Yeah, but they can't get. Yeah, but they. I guess they could get in. So no, this won't do. This door won't do. I don't know. Well, yes. I will make a stairway up to the next floor through that door. I guess. Yeah. Or well, it would be best to Yeah, man, I'll put the car stuff on the roof. Yeah. So this is the wall. Demolish. What I really wanted was windows. Wood window frames. The upkeep on this is going to be insane. I shouldn't have built a second floor at all. The second floor should be nothing. And the bottom floor should be all of it. I don't know. I think it was right to put the walls so they don't know what's inside. Fucking annoying. We can put windows upstairs. It was the right thing to do. But I wasted fucking wood. But I didn't make a mistake. That's the main thing. I keep erasing without really thinking about it first. Yep, so... So you come out, you go all the way the fuck around. And this doesn't work. Wait, okay, you come in, you go all the way the fuck around. And that's all the base stuff, and then up here at night I'll shut the doors, but I don't need to shut the doors until night daytime. When I go to bed I can shut the doors. Maybe a door here. I'm out of wood. How's this going? I'm at 5 gray wood. I'm gonna just move to the next tree. Getting that passive money. Okay, good. We're gonna grab this compressed ice. 450 of it can go in my hold. Which is some, you know. Then, yep, and then I'm half full, so we'll go to the next site.
Autopilot engaged. Warping to Stargate. Warp drive active.
Okay, this base is now sealing. I'm a lot fucking safer now. We'll make even more of those.
Warping to Stargate. Warp drive active.
I want to put a turret aiming here, and 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 a turret aiming here. And they'll have to get past all these fucking turrets. I suppose they could shoot them from the outside. I don't know what I can do. I'll figure out something. Some kind of turret thing here. Or, I don't know. No, this is where all of the stuff is gonna be. I'll put stuff like, deviants down here. I don't think I want these. Oh, I guess, no, I do, I guess. Cause connected structures to collapse. Wood foundation, wood wall. Maybe there isn't anything. Let's see.
Autopilot jumping.
In here, we could put, like, you know, other things. I don't know. Like a turret. I could put a fucking turret right here that they've got to deal with. It shoots at this wall.
Warp drive active.
Yeah, it's like a turret that's aimed right here, so it covers, like, this wall. Right here, yeah. Or, I don't know, like, where, I suppose I need a seal where it's not totally safe. And there we go, we got a finished base. Need to put a door right here. I like the building more in 1CM, and it's so much easier to do. They're actually really good at it. Mostly. There's some problems, but overall it's really solid builder. Okay, so, that's how I would build a rust base. We're gonna put a turret right here. So if they blow through all these doors or what, yeah, I'm gonna just put like 15 doors. Like, what can they do? They can blow walls if they want to, but I don't really recommend it. I could put even more honeycomb around it. I think it's enough, and then... Oh, does that work? Oh, no, I don't know. Maybe it doesn't.
Docking request accepted.
It works, it's just annoying. I wonder if I can copy and do it again.
Waypoint reached.
Like that. I mean, yeah, if you would grip, it would work. Yeah, like, but you, oh yeah, no, it does work. Yeah, it works. That's good. That makes it so this... I wish to relocate. Back down in the base, but I'll have to open the door. Okay, relocate. Yes. God damn it. Fine, then just demolish before it's a problem. Bye. Up here, we just have a car. This thing's too exposed now. I'll have to get back inside. Why does that look weird? It's like a peak. It's like a crazy peak. For some reason. No, we don't need this. We can just... Yeah. Insufficient. Oops. Okay, so there's the base. I can make other improvements as I need to. This is crazy how I did a peak, I guess, with wood frames. Is that what I did? I'm not really sure. Yes, anyways, I've got to open the door and secure these two things, and I'm done with this portion of the build, and then it becomes a farming phase. Yeah, I guess right here we put we put a thing in it and a bunch of turrets, I guess, really. Or well, I suppose it would be here. Or no, because they could just blow a wall. Yeah, it would be here. And then we'll put a turret in right in the room and wire it. It's cool how you can see outside, but it's weird. It shouldn't happen. But it is cool, I suppose. It doesn't really... I suppose a door might fix it. Yeah, doors might fix it. So now... Oh, are we here? Yeah, we're here. So then dump this compressed ice so it's safe. That's my nest egg. It'll, like, pay for my ship if I lose it. Coveter with mining drones out for some reason. We are going to White Glaze Belt.
Warp drive active.
Gonna hit this Covender. Oops, need a new axe, and I'm mostly full of loot, so I'm gonna go dump. I wish you could favorite stuff so you can just always go to it really quick. $30 gold. that abyss of staring at like a 500 gold, what's it called? Because I need this whole row of things so I can get better bows, which is raw strength. There's like 3 raw strength there that I can just get permanently forever. 4 raw strength, which gets me to 121, and that makes me able to shoot a much higher class of bow, and it does way more damage. It does like 20% more damage or something. But it takes an elixir of aptitude, which isn't cheap. That's 500 gold, so I'm just passively chopping wood for like 3 days, and then and in each day, and when I wake up tomorrow, for instance, I'll get on, and hopefully the Mortal Daily will be something worth doing. If not, it's just a slow day. You just chop wood or whatever. I can always work on my alt. Like, if there's nothing to do on my main, I can always go to my alt, and I can, like, teach myself how to be a competent mage, because mage in this game is even harder. I realized the real problem with mages is they interrupt your spells. So when they're in your face, you have no option. I mean, you can maybe land the spells, but it's a gamble, and they're chunking away at you the whole time. My thing is shoot like the strongest spell I can get my fucking hands on that costs the most money, you know, because money is of no object or whatever. The strongest elementalist spell that I can get, like the biggest fireball or whatever it is, I'm not really sure. And I'll learn everything there is to know about mage, and I will shoot them twice with a fireball when it starts, you know, and hopefully while they're clumped, and bomb them really hard. And, you know, and as they're coming in, I shoot lesser fireballs or whatever it is at them. And when they reach me, I pull out a bow, and I begin to spray them, like with the one shot thing. Sorry, the single split shot thing. I'm becoming discerning about trees, and that's kind of annoying. But I think it's kind of a cool system that they've got going too, though. This is right where I was. I'm on like the wrong. I went to the wrong side of it. I need to go around counterclockwise now. I could also chop along the river. I don't think those boys will bother me over here. There's a lot of gray wood like right here. I want to hit all of these. I don't care if they kill me. I don't care. I've made so much money today, 100 gold. Who cares if they take 5 axes and like 30 gold off me or whatever? I really don't care about that. Here's somebody else with some Mackinaws, but there's no booster. Oh yeah, there is. There's iMike Cyclones. I want to join a mining corporation. This corporation is dead, and I didn't know that, you know, but it looks better on my bio if I stay there for 6 months. I want to find the best mining corporation in high sec. I want to find a new corporation because I'm coming back to Eve, and, you know, and I want to do it different this time. I had a good experience in Absolute Order until it got really, really sweaty really fast. It's probably because I joined. They got super sweaty the minute I joined and started dual wielding fucking, you know, Feroxes. They were like, oh, we're gonna go hard. Yeah. Quant sure. Fine. I mean, what does that even mean? I'm looking for new pilot in high sec English. I'm looking for, yeah, like less than, yeah, 5,000 to like bigger or something. What is this? That's like, yeah, from yeah, like 500 to 1,000. Maximum ISK test rate is 100. Corporations and alliances. Yep, I want alliances, and I am looking for and I did that all right, I think. I'm not sure though. So that's 02. So right now it's 9 o'clock in the morning in Eve World. which is 1 a.m. for my time. So yeah, I want to play from 9 a.m. from like 12 till 9. Like 12 till 9 a.m. Like that's like, yeah, that's like a little bit earlier of like 11 to 2 p.m. from 11 a.m. until 2 a.m. in the morning. Yeah. Yep. Local time. Local time is 11 to 2. Yeah, 11 a.m. to 2 a.m. Yeah, it's a little bit harder. But can I specify like mining? I'm looking for mining. No, I'm not looking for that. I'm looking for... No tax, no wars, no hassles. Emperor's Medical Corporation. Oh, here we go. Exploration. I don't want exploration. Mission running. Nope. I'm looking for mining. Market. I'm looking for resource harvesting. And it still only pops those. Do the same shit I do in Rust. Force them to fucking pop 15 doors. What can they do? They don't know where to hit. They don't know where TC is. And it's cheap. It's wood. It probably costs nothing, you know? It's weird how they do it. You have to like aim at the rim. And boy, it's annoying every time you come in. You're having to deal with all these fucking doors. But it's annoying for them too, you know? It's annoying for them to get in there and take your base. It's not that easy for them. Now I'm in a nice farming phase where the only thing they can take from me is what's on my body, which I should think about. Yeah, oh yeah, never mind. I need to get in there and focus on that now. I shouldn't have come outside. Wish I had windows. I don't. You know, that's fine. It also feels safer. And in the meantime, we can keep, like, the last few doors open until the end of the night, you know? A good 3 doors is enough. You know, yeah, like 3, 4 doors right there is fine. The rest of it we can keep open until the end of the day. So, first we need a recycler pretty much by the door. And we'll just build how I normally build. How's this going? I'm down to 5 gray wood. I'm gonna move. Okay, looking for recycler. Crafting processes, gathering and production. Oh, water might be a thing if I can make this, but I don't have the metal scraps yet until I recycle. That's odd. There doesn't seem to be a recycler on this list. Why is that the case? Do I have to unlock it? Oh, I have 90 thingies, so we want... Ooh, sleeping bag, huh? Oh, basic respawn point. Okay, yeah, we definitely need that. But I can't get it yet. Battle bow. No, this is all the stuff we have. Yeah, okay, so... A bed would be good. Unlock the prerequisites to detect large storage. Yeah, I want that, please. Yep. Bed. Additional territory terminal would be good, so I don't, like, lose all my progress. No, I'll just move bases is what I'll do. Traps and all this stuff. Yeah, like, functional, like, stuff. It's an entirely different mode. Wow. But a bit more my style, I think. Yeah, a weapon would be good. Even just 2 of them. I mean, do I have a weapon? No, I don't think I do have... Or no, yeah, I do. I have a bow. But I'm trying to reach this thing, the R500. Raid zone chips 60 out of 50. Okay, so... Alloy pickaxes, but none of the rest of this stuff is very crucial. I don't see a way to recycle, though. So what, I mean, I guess I just stuff this stuff away. Make this the loot room. Steel ingots and wood. I don't have steel ingots, so... I guess I don't have to recycle, I guess. It all just does that for you, so... Now... I guess we make... well, yeah, storage will go in that room, and then we want furnaces, I guess, sort of more close to the door, or maybe like in this corner. I don't have any iron ore. I don't. I'll have to go out farming, I guess. So... In order to make a large storage crate, I will need steel ingots, which I have to make within a furnace, so... But we can do small storage crates for now, which is what I will do, and I'll pop them or whatever, and I'll just pick up all the stuff when I'm done. What? Oh, it is like a frame. Is it a frame? Is it permanent now? I want to demolish it. I guess I can't really do that, but I can do this. Yeah, and then we can just break these and make larger boxes when I'm ready. Okay, it's not amazing, but it's better than nothing. Deposit all, and this stuff, I guess, used for research to unlock technology. I don't know. I don't know. I really don't know. SMG body. Do you have to recycle at monuments? That might be what it is. I'll put that away too. What the hell is that? Oh, it's a Rosetta transporter. Oh, drop crates. Okay, so it drops crates. Maybe I should go to that. Let's pause it all and I'll come back for it. No, I mean, yeah, the adrenaline shot might be nice, but no, it's too valuable right now. Yep, this is good enough, and we'll put an axe away just in case I need it. I have a set, which I guess I could put away, but I'm not really. Oh, I have a primary stove here. Cool. Oh, and I have a tactical storage box, which is cool. I have a stove. I guess I'll put it here. Very good. Roasted meat, a lot of it. Roasted hawthorn. Alright, how's this going? Oops, I should probably put my drones out. Although I think that probably is blocking the door. I don't know. I don't have a spawn point here, so I gotta go chop a tree. This is the right mode. It's much more easier for this for me to focus on this. Beautiful. Too loud, sorry. But fun to watch. Yeah, sure. No, if it's account wide. Oh, no, okay, so I apparently need to go back inside and pop over to my main character, because I haven't looked at my battle pass, apparently, and I'm like 16 levels in, and I should go do that. I'm gonna exit to relog in. I like what they did here. It's good. Reminds me of Fortnite, kind of. It's better done than a lot of these other companies. Oh, let's go on a horse. Okay, now I've claimed all the way to 16. And I feel confident that if I claim anything on Ray's zone, it doesn't affect my main character, because she's the one who I want all the loot to go to. The other character isn't really real. Stellar Stairway. Starcroom 600. Nice, not bad. Apparently, once humans on the phone now. Oh, I caught it.
Warp drive active.
I like their stuff. It's like an Asian Fallout 76, and they know it. I like Once Human. It's like an Asian Fallout 76. That's an apt appraisal. It's Asian 76. And I love Once Human. I think it's really good. I'm bored of 76. I've done everything there is. I didn't even log into 76 today. I suppose I should go get my daily before it resets. I guess when I'm full, next time I'm full, I'll log in town and I'll go do 76 and get my daily real quick. I'm beginning to wonder if I should just turn off, like, Steam online and go to Steam offline. I could play Rust in that way. And continue to work on my zombie character. Because I do intend to sort of... Well, I don't know. I think I might do the naval update on Brit server. Maybe. It's hard to say. Okay, I'm in, and I want to take a look at the Battle Pass now. And yeah, apparently the Battle Pass shares across the modes. Wow. So cool. So it just gave me a bunch of loot. I think you can get arrows to show me which way the door is, because I don't know. It's like kind of labyrinthian, and I don't know which way the door is. Yeah, it kind of sucks. I wish I had made windows, but windows are a security risk. So I'll make the outside walls stone. I'll upgrade when I find stone. So now I have a lot of meat. I'm sorry, a lot of stone. Or sorry, wood. Oh, I have a lot of wood, yeah. So nice, that was good. That's gonna help. 300 gravel, that helps, yeah. So we definitely want to upgrade the structure of this thing to this. Oh, yeah, it's really expensive though. So, and plus it probably makes the gravel upkeeps really, really bad. I guess I need to finish this door. And a bed. Yeah, a bed would be really good. I don't know, I like Once Human Raid Zone. It's biting me more than the other mode is. They're both good. One's PvE, one's PvP. I like PvP. I don't have to be here every day. It's fine. I'm getting light in this room for some reason. Maybe it's the stove. I don't know. But anyways, I got light in that room for whatever reason. That's helpful because it's dark in here. I put down a rare bed. Oh, look, I do have... Oh, no, I don't have the mats for it, but I can make lights if I want common lighting and stuff. Yeah, go to the text screen and unlock functional furniture, please. Yeah, do it. Cool, never mind. So, green is the best color, I guess, and we'll do... Oh, no, those are expensive. Never mind. Next, we need to make a facility. of a primary supply workbench, which will take iron ore. I will have to go out hunting. My current weight is 6 pounds out of 80. I don't have anything but a light kit, and it feels like rust. I like it more. Make me a door for this. Yeah, there we go. Oh yeah, if I want to go out, I guess I can go out, huh? It's like faster to do that. Yeah, it is. It's like faster to go out. I'm gonna put a turret right there. Under the stairs where they can't see it that easy. Look at the beautiful rainbow. I like this mode, it's good. Okay, we're out finding wood, and we see that after a little bit of time, the wood my cover does respawn. So it'll be hard to see my base. Oh god, this was bad. I need to open that and get in. I'm gonna have to open doors here real quick, all the way to core, which is fucking stupid. I thought I moved it, but it apparently said I didn't. Yeah, like, that's dumb. Anyways, oh, damn it, let me up this thing. It moved it when I logged, I think. This is the TC. We don't want them getting to this. Yeah, now, up here, who cares if they can see all of the, what's it called? The things I have. Yeah, who cares if they can see those? I don't care about that. So... and it's safer now. Oh, I can access items. Nice. Oh, yeah. Nice. Yeah, I didn't want to put that in there, so... Okay, compressed white glaze. Oh, look at this. Even without other people, I have 86 million sitting here. Oh, no, some of it's this stuff, though. Because I compressed, I guess. Yeah, I could compress, and it's even less, huh? It's like less. 3400 M3, 555. Yeah, I could just compress the white gray. I could just compress the white. I'm sorry, yeah, uncompress the white glaze. Reprocess. I've got full reprocessing. Yeah, go. Nice, yeah. And that makes it even less, way less, and it's 80 million worth, and it weighs nothing at all. Oh, wait, wait. Will this stuff go in the mining hold? No. And it weighs a lot. I will have to come get it with my hauler, but it's not a bad trip to the hauler. It's not bad. I shouldn't have broken the ice down because I could have hauled it back out to Jita. And now I have to bring a hauler. But this isn't bad. Like, yeah, like I could haul more this way, I guess. This is an easier way to do it. It's better probably to just do it with a hauler. So, that's unfortunate, though. I wanted to bring this money back today, but it's alright. I gotta remember that this is here. But hey, it's 78 million in nitrogen isotopes in whatever place this is. What was that sound? Raid zone vault. Territory vault. Materials. Okay, so I have a lot of food and I'd like to split that. No, I want to discard some. I want to move some of it. Oh, this is a tactical storage box, and you can store a set of armor here, which is dope. And I can just put my set away. Oops, quick change, right? Yeah, and this strips me naked. Oh, I really like that. That's a good idea. Although, yeah, and can I go into it and it just pulls something if I need to? Yeah, but I don't need to. So now we'll go out totally poor and like a real Rust game. Yeah, that was the thing that was kind of like shitty. I'm glad that they addressed that. But I will need, yeah, I will need like a tool. No, I don't want that stuff. Oh, asterism crate. 500 asterism, raid zone chips, special module dust. Use to exchange for random mod chests in the mod store. Electric eel in my territory. Oh, don't log me, no. Okay, so move to more Greywood. Where am I now? I have wandered too far, maybe. Okay, so... Okay, so now I go out and I find materials. And I have a knife. Oh yeah, my gear is like nothing but a knife and an axe. Yeah, that is how you play Raid Zone. And I will go try and I will go try and knife fight somebody with a gun. I don't care. Oops. Okay, so now we go and look for gravel and iron. Just looking around visually to see if there's anything I should go get. Like, it kind of looks like I should fly down to the church and go in through the roof. But I can't teleport, so I'll have to make my way back up here. And getting back up there from that direction, I don't know if I've done that yet. So getting up here is another thing that's sort of kind of a shitty thing. But anyways, let's go down there. Wow, you cannot soar as long as you used to be able to. I am going to fall before I make it. But at least I got there. Oh, yeah. Yeah, that hurt, but it didn't, like, fucking totally fuck me up. Whatever. If I'm hurt, I'm hurt. I can't, I mean, I can't really fight, so... But who cares if I die? I have a respawn point. Oh, I don't know. I definitely don't want to fight. And I can't get back up again. There was a ladder, I thought. Wasn't there a ladder? Yeah, there's a ladder. Ooh, panty shot. What is it? I don't see iron at all. Oh, that was good. Oh, there. Suppose I should use my snap more. White belt.
Warp drive active.
I really like 3 jumps from Gita. I wonder if I could sell it. Just sell that stuff. What was that? You took too long. Nice shotgun turret. A pair of pants. Iron sucks. I'm not finding it good at all. This is like Rust. You have to walk so far. It makes getting a bike like a really good thing. They changed the mode a lot. Now this gravel feels really good. And I like that it feels good. It feels good. It feels good to get it because it's like there's not that much of it. And I explore a lot more than I normally would. I should have brought a bow. I could make a bow out here. There's nothing stopping me. Just chop a tree and make a bow. Smart man makes a bow. I should make a tent spawn out here too if I'm gonna be out here. 2 near a road, 2 near a stronghold. Okay, make me a weapon. Wait, can you craft armor out here too? Oh yeah, but it takes rawhide, so I should be killing deer to get a set. I didn't know that. So there we go. Got a nice bow. A rusted blade, knife, but I don't have the steel ingots. And I think a torch would be good. Yeah. Good, and then, yeah, I can't make any armor yet, but I can make arrows. 30 arrows is enough to get started. Make me some bandages, too. So if I want, like, bandages, I have to run the river. I like this mode. I think it's much, much better. So, but you didn't equip, huh? Okay. And then... Oh, I have a wrench too, but... I like the torch. The torch is good for nighttime. Out of ammunition. Why am I... Oh, right, because I didn't go loot. Okay, so now I want to go get that stone node. And rawhide is good. I don't think you really need to draw the bow. I think it's like pretty much worth it to just keep firing it. There's lots of stone around. There's 2 nodes in sight. There's a car and a couple of deer. The bow fights would be interesting. Yeah. Lots of stone. Oh, I DC'd out. Damn it. Go to work on likelies. There was a lot of stone over here east by Aiden's hideout. There's an apple tree. Iron ore, sulfur. Look, that's beautiful. Fucking beautiful. I think Raid Zone might be my thing. I think it might be. With all these other games running passively in the background and just, you know, do Mortal fighting every once in a while when I feel like it. Mortal's cheap right now. It's like $12. Now I kind of want to go back because I do have some stuff. And it feels like Rust, which is good. It's not like Rust because it's dead game, but it's got suspense to it. It's nice. Did you loot it? Because it doesn't really look like you did, but oh well. So, a little bit to the east of me is Aiden's hideout. It's this place. So a full charge, it's like 75, but if I don't, it's like 50. Yeah, I think it's faster to just do it. Anybody else in here? Ooh, there's a weapon crate. This is the most talkative ISD I've ever seen. Slarty Bart fast. I like this bunker because it's one and done, and you can get in and out so fast, and it actually has like the most concentrated loot I can think of like a monument. Ooh, I got a free rainwater thingy, which is good because water is a thing. Although I can't just boil water. It's not, but I don't want to go do. I don't want to have to go do that if I don't have to. This game's running well in medium. It looks kind of fuzzy to me a little bit because of the DLSS. Like, it doesn't really need DLSS. I don't know, though. Wait, did I get everything? I think I got everything. No, there's like a little side room I think I kind of missed. Oh, I did miss that. Oh, because of that, yeah. There, that was better. And it was ice cubes, nice. And then... Got back here, did I? Yeah, I got back here. No, I didn't get that thing. Orange soda. Yeah, I'll take it. A basic shield generator. I'll take it, sure. Now I have like a shield, a little bit of shield. And, yeah, we got everything I think in this place, which is good. Oh, my arrows. Good. I'm up to 26. Get me on camera a little bit more. Oh, it's raining now. Okay, my original place is over there west. Right, and I can't teleport, right? You can't, yeah, you can't teleport, no. So, okay, we go west. Which I don't know if I can even do. Oops. Yeah, log mortal. Go away. That's a picture of a rabbit with a bow. A 2x1. So southeast of me is a 2x1 we could blow with like maybe 3 doors. Where did you go, dear? And rust cliffs. Come on, I could do it. If I had to do this every time, though, it's gonna suck. I don't like where I built. But also, it's annoying to get to me, so... You know, it's not the worst thing in the world. Somehow I got a chainsaw. Apparently. I got an advanced logging chainsaw while I was out there. Nice! Well, I wasn't expecting that. That makes this way easier. Yeah, shit. Might as well get the wood while I'm out here. I need to get that thing inside because it like lights up where I am. Really bad. So yeah, you can like you have to shut 3 doors, but the other bits I'll leave open. At night I'll shut them. There's like a peak right there, which is kind of interesting. I don't know how I got that, but I got it. How did I get this cool peak? Did I put like a frame first? Might come in handy. Okay, cook me some roasted meat and some hawthorn juice. Yeah, and that'll be my meal. Next, we will make facilities of a primary supplies workbench. And I guess I will turn this direction for all of that. So we'll put this here. Wait, maybe I should close these doors. And that might make it easier to, like, do this. Okay, so move it over. There we go. Weather change to sunny, that's good. Oops, gotta get in and start. Oops. Oh, it's 2 in the morning. I'm going to bed soon. I guess I will finish my dinner. Stiff. Oh, my ribs. Okay. A little bit of Canada Dry. Oh, this was... Why did I grab that? That's dumb. Got the wrong thing. Oops. BRB. Okay, so gonna kill the Eve music now. Boy, I burn out on these games so bad. I'm like, I don't want to play it ever again, you know, but I do. I end up playing it again. I shouldn't say that anymore. So dumb. I'm gonna go delete their negative reviews, I think, on Steam because I feel guilty about it. EVE Online, I would take away the, no, cancel. I want to come to say something about this game to your friends. Nope. EVE. Mortal. New no. Oh, no, no, that's good. Yep. Expect harassment and death. Game itself, great. Yep. Yeah, that's much more fair. Much more fair. That's what I should say about EVE 2. Okay, we are chopping tree. I am in Once Human, resting. I will lose this base tomorrow. I don't care. It took me 2 hours to build, or whatever. Okay, I'm gonna eat something and watch a YouTube video. The Terrifying Rise of Vice Signaling. Joe on Alex Pretty's killing. John on Alex Pretty's killing. Everyone hates baby no money. Let's go back. Yeah, my mom told me to watch the Jon Stewart thing, but I don't really want to. I don't really like Jon Stewart that much. I do, but he's old. Like, old now. And I don't know. He kind of stumbles along. I don't really like him that much. It's just honestly, you know.
Yeah, so we've been following this for a long time, guys, and you know, we've been talking about how Bill Burr fell from being a podcast that was never super popular on YouTube, but would get, you know, 75,000 views, 50,000.
I'm gonna switch back to my headphones now. Okay.
Views here and there, and then it went on a steady decline, right after Bill Burr had a big huge moment on the internet where he became a very, very popular guy. He went to rehab in October, and he has been paying the price for it, and now, oh my god, Gavin, it's getting bad. It's getting bleak over here. We got to do one of our looks. Over the last 2 weeks, Gavin, he can't break 20,000 views on a video.
Yeah.
18,000 11 days ago, 19,000. This is when the Patriots were going to the playoffs. That's
Go
something
woke
people
or
used
go
to
broke.
love Bill Burr talking about sports. The Patriots, this should be a huge live stream for him. Okay, the playoffs, life insurance, being an executor, nothing. Doesn't even get above 20K. This one right here, okay, you see how the one right here that doesn't get 20K, it's an hour and 9 minutes long, right?
Yup.
We can zoom in a little bit more and see it more closely, but it's about an hour and 9 minutes long, right? 4 days later, he publishes this live stream. We might have to have Gavin pull it up because YouTube's going through this weird bug where it won't
Oh,
let me
you said
watch
to
anything.
refresh.
Oh.
I've also been experiencing that, and I was like, "What the hell is going
And
on?"
I don't know where it
But if you refresh it, I'm glad you're also dealing with that though, because I was like, "Is something wrong with my YouTube accounts?"
Yeah, it's crazy. So you know, I also was worried about that. I was like, I was trying to watch
No, it's ads and the ad blocker.
the JV Pritzker. I've had it this morning. I was like, did they take it down? I'm only 15 minutes into it. I want to watch the rest. No, they didn't. It was just one of those things. So anyway, 470 upvotes to 1.9K downvotes, which is terrible on a video that has 15,000 views. It also has 223 comments. All of them are negative. But here's the real kicker, Gavin. You know how we did our video a few weeks ago talking about how embarrassing and pathetic it was that like half of this goddamn fucking show was ad reads?
Yeah.
I mean, you would do 9-10 minutes of ad reads, and then Bill Burr had a crash out where he was complaining about the fact that the people who are sponsoring his ad reads aren't happy with his output, which is another reason that I think that they're not going to renew with him, because he was starting to crack and he was starting to bitch and moan about how they weren't happy with his ad reads because he's not reaching anybody. Okay, like the standard offer, if you're not fucking famous, for a video that gets 15,000 views is like $45. Okay, like people are just not interested in having you sponsor shit if you're only gonna get that few views.
Yeah, like that. Yeah, that's my thing. It's like I don't think I sell, so I do this out of love. Like whatever you guys can watch for free, because I'm gonna do it anyways. I don't do this for money. You know.
Right?
Yeah, whoever the fuck is sponsoring this content is only sponsoring.
You guys do
because
give me
of
money.
The name Bill Burr.
You guys give me money. Like I'm about to play World of Warcraft Midnight off you guys, and I'm so amazed by that. That is like one of the coolest things that's ever happened to me.
They probably just assume.
love you
"Oh,
guys."
Yeah, of course I'll work with Bill Burr. Bill Burr's a hot commodity. Yeah, of course I want to be sponsored with him. But yeah, they're not basing that sponsorship deal off of the amount of views this actual show gets.
Right. And then if you look here, he does something, and this was truly spectacularly lazy. It was spectacularly pathetic, and to me, reflective of somebody who does not give a single fuck about this podcast anymore. And I've gotten that.
Okay. I gotta go throw stuff away. I'll be right back. Some frozen fruit for dessert. Okay. Now, some frozen fruit. This was a good day. I got free Mexican meal and yeah, like, you know, frozen fruit and stuff.
That vibe for a while, but as a man who does give a fuck about his podcast, I know this is a huge no-no to do, and I'm excited to get Gavin's reaction. He was too fucking lazy to record an entirely new podcast this week, which, by the way, just consists of him bitching about garage doors. So he does 30 minutes, and then he recuts that hour and 9 minutes from the previous episode into the new podcast.
I hope you enjoy it. That's it. All right, I'll see you.
Throwback episode.
This lazy motherfucker, bro. You're Bill Burr. You have one of the best voices in America, and you can't just record a fucking 30-minute segment of yourself talking. You have to cut last week's episode back in. That is the most washed shit ever. And again, it's not that fucking hard. Zach and I have already been live for an hour and 18 minutes today. Just without a script, without anything, just fucking talking. It's not that hard, bro. You have to be the laziest bitch ever if your job is to talk. And not even for that long, not even for as long as we talk, but you still can't produce the goods. Holy shit.
I know, it's crazy. And again, it was only 30 minutes, guys. It was only 30 minutes, and then he goes to an hour and 9 minutes, right? And it's crazy. You can read the comment section down here. It's like, someone should tell him his podcast is the Rob. And boom goes the dynamite. Hey, look, guys, he puts his helicopter on one leg at a time like the rest of us.
Bro, people will not let this go. People will not let up on Bill Burr, this poor bastard.
I don't know if he was faking the whole time or if he genuinely doesn't get it. Paused it at 2 seconds. I gotta go to work now. I don't know what that's related to. Good job, Bill. You became the biggest joke of the decade. Really funny shit. Bill, you're an idiot. You can actually hear the fingernails of cognitive dissonance clawing at the inside of his skull. Guys, we are reading every single comment in order that they show up. These are all negative. Usually YouTube will try and sprinkle in some positive ones if they can find it. There aren't any. Sit on the fence. Both sides, Bill.
Yeah, if I was Bill Burr, I would unironically just turn off the comment section before I even published a video. Because every single one we've looked at ever since the Riyadh debacle, which was like months ago.
Almost 4 months.
Almost 4 months ago. Literally every single piece of content he's uploaded to YouTube has the exact same comment section. Hate comment after hate comment, just getting viciously, brutally roasted.
Yeah, it continues too. Imagine being rich, famous, successful, and miserable as hell, Gavin. Bill, I'm just like you, Burr, still pretending everyone doesn't hate you now, I see. The law of holes. When you're in a hole, stop digging. Bill, stop digging. Shut everything down. Go away for a year. Reflect. Remember who you used to be, what you used to stand for. Have the courage to admit that you fucked up. I don't want to see you go on destroying yourself. I admire the man you were, and I believe in redemption. Having needed it myself, save yourself. And that is the best piece of advice I think anybody in the comment section has given him. We've given him that advice, not that he would listen to our stupid fucking show, but when you're crashing out like this and you have resources, let's not pretend Bill Burr, unless he spends money like a motherfucker and we don't know about it, maybe he does, he has a helicopter that can't be cheap, but you should have money to just be like, you know what, I can take a year off. I can take a year off and just not worry about my bills.
Bro, go to fucking Hawaii. Go to the Virgin Islands and hang out on the beach. Like, what are you? I feel like if I accessed even 10% of a guy like Bill Burr's wealth, I would be looking for opportunities to do exactly that. I'd be like, all right, guys, see you in 6 months. I'm gonna be fucking exploring Argentina. You know, I'm gonna be on some beautiful fucking island. I'm going to Fiji. You know, why can't you do that, bro? Again, I would be looking for excuses to do that shit if I had even a fraction of this motherfucker's wallet.
Yeah. I came here to troll, but I see you guys got this covered. Keep up the good work. He can dish it out, but he can't take it. Hey, don't spend it all in one place. Oh, wow, the drop-off is nothing. I mean, guys, look at this. This is all of the comments right here on just this one video. And that was one, you know, I felt like it was a fair amount of time. It's been out for 4 days. But we can go ahead and look over here and see if it's gotten any better with his most recent upload, which again is at 10,000 views, and he only records for an hour, and it's him talking about the Patriots, right? It's crazy again.
Yeah, according to Dieter, the big business, the Patriots are going to the Super Bowl.
Right, yeah, and that's why he's super excited about it. And that's why it should be a big time for him, because as Dieter, I'm sure, knows, Bill Burr was famous as shit in Boston, and I'm sure they would have loved to see him rant about how cool it was that they're back at the fucking Super Bowl, right? It's crazy. But then if you read his comment section down here, it's just all haters again. Oh, Billy beheadings. This is never going away, Bill. Never. Make it all make sense, Bill. Old Billy Baghdad, they got a Burger King, man. Like, it's crazy.
Yeah, no, it is really crazy how, like, committed seemingly his whole audience is to making him pay for this shit, to, like, actually punishing him over the sin that he committed, which is really, like, it really did ruin his reputation. Like, there's just no other way to put it. With the people that cared most about him and actually supported his message when he would get political, yeah, they're not going to let him forget this shit, and nor should they. But it is really wild to see it persist still months later. Just not a single positive comment, not a single person coming to his defense. So much so, Zach, that I actually do agree with you. I do think this podcast will come to an end soon. For one, it's a dog shit product.
Yeah.
It's a terrible podcast, even if you are a fan of Bill Burr, which Zach and I have been. It's not like we ever watched this garbage even before the Riyadh scandal.
I did
It's not-
occasionally. But
Okay,
yeah.
fair enough. But it's not like, the
Document
main
request
Bill Burr
accepted.
thing. Like it's not
Oh,
what anyone
kidding.
truly associated with
F
Bill
is
Burr.
for
It's
family
a dog shit podcast. For
is
one,
what I
I mean,
associate
maybe it's a
Bill Burr
personal
with.
thing. Not really a huge fan of audio only podcasts. I think it would be elevated tremendously if he just turned on the goddamn camera. Like I don't want to just hear you talk to yourself alone in a dark room. That's the vibe I get when I watch a show like this, and that's the vibe you get from him too. Like he can't think of anything to say, so he's just rambling, like he's just talking to himself or something. Like that's part of the reason why it's a bad show, because it feels like he's just talking to himself. I also think it would help him if he got a fucking co-host. Like part of the reason we're able to go on for 2 hours, 3 hours sometimes is because we have each other to give each other prompts and to bounce off of one another. I actually think that Bill Burr's personality would benefit from having someone else to bounce off of. Again, it does get kind of monotonous when you're just like being hit with like Bill Burrism after another, like one Bill Burrism after another, So I do think another personality, maybe someone a little bit more chill than Bill Burr, could kind of balance out the vibe if he wanted to put on a successful podcast that's worth listening to. Part of the other reason I think that you're right, Zach, and that this project will be short-lived, and why we could see him step away from the world of podcasting, and honestly, maybe even comedy itself, not entirely. But everyone thinks of Bill Burr as a comedian. Clearly, that's not working out so well for him these days.
I think
Zach,
of him
I
as
have a feeling that we might
showrunner.
see him do more shit like this. Some
I
people
think that's
might
what he
forget
wants us to
that he
think, too.
directed this absolute piece of dog shit movie called Old Dads, which has a 27% on Rotten Tomatoes. Again, because of the fact that Zach and I were fans of Bill Burr's, politics and his fucking comedy, we kind of let him off the hook for this stinker. But he directed and starred in this shitty movie, Old Dads, which, despite its negative reviews, was actually a huge hit on Netflix. This movie was at the
83% with popcorn.
yeah,
meter.
and 80, to be fair, apparently the audience likes it, which tells you something about why Netflix movies are so bad. Apparently people like that shit. They're like, yes, give me more boomer slop.
Yeah, Adam Sandler type shit.
Yeah, exactly. So the thing about Bill Burr is, like, I could very easily see him taking a look at these comment sections, seeing all this negative energy from his former fans, and being like, well, fuck you. You don't want to hear me tell jokes and, give my thoughts, or what? You just want to bring up this Riyadh thing? Well, I'll just keep making this slop, this dog shit content for Netflix, like Old Dads. And it's not just movies he directed. He also had supporting roles in like the what's it, Daddy's Home, or what, I forget what they're called. I don't know why all of his shit has daddy in the title, but yeah, he had supporting roles in Daddy's Home and Daddy's Home 2.
Was that Mark Wahlberg in Daddy's Home?
We all know why Daddy's in the
Yes,
title.
and Will Ferrell.
Yeah.
So again, I don't know why all of his
Go
movies have
me
something to do with like
daddy,
dad
go
or
call
daddy
me
or whatever.
daddy.
But yeah, he can keep doing that shit. He can star in Daddy's Home 3. He can direct Old Dads 2, right? Like he can literally just make this fucking slop forever and get
Old
probably
Dads
just
too.
as much money as he. I mean, I'm not an expert in this stuff, but I imagine directing a hit Netflix movie, you probably earn even more than you get for
F is
going
for
on some
family,
shitty ass comedy
which you
tour. I don't
completely
know.
Skipped
I
over.
think he makes a fuckload off of his comedy tours. This is the one thing, because I mean,
guess.
if you think like Bill Burr, he would
Are
play
they
like
even aware of F is for
potentially the
family?
T-Mobile. I mean, he would have, right? Like
Yeah.
I don't know where
It
and then
went
you
3
think,
seasons,
$40 to get in,
which is
times
pretty strong
30,000
for a
people, and goes, I don't know
showrunner
how
of
many
a
people goes,
television
10,000 people, but still, it's a
Makes
good
some money.
bag. But I agree with you. There's other lanes for him. One of the things that I really wanted to see when I was on my like peak Bill Burr bandwagon, he went to he was on Broadway and he was in a stage production of Glengarry Glen Ross with Bob Odenkirk and Kieran Culkin that people said was fucking
Wow.
awesome. And when I read the reviews, people said Bill Burr was an all-star on it. They were like, wow, he actually nailed it. People don't expect to be impressed by Bill Burr's acting, particularly when he's acting opposite Bob Odenkirk and Kieran Culkin, two really, really established career actors. So I do think that you're right, that there's other opportunities for him. He also had that show I never watched, but I think you said you did, on Netflix, where it was like an animated show called F is for Family. He could do a lot of work like that and take some time away from this podcast that clearly is doing more harm than good for him. And I think that over time people would let these wounds kind of rest. I think the fact that he's handled it in such a bad way that it kind of inspires people to continue to hate on him.
Yeah, no, exactly. Yeah, 100%. And by putting out the shitty dog shit podcast. And again, no one can leave a comment under a Netflix movie or show, which might encourage him to get back into doing that more so than this shitty ass YouTube content that he's putting out again, or even comedy where he might be afraid of bombing after all of this negative attention from his fan base. I mean, it has to shake your confidence a little bit as a comedian when you're used to going out there to a adoring crowd, and then all of a sudden you've been enduring this level of backlash. That would rattle me a little bit. I might be a little bit afraid to go perform again. So I don't know. We'll see. And by the way, yeah, F is for Family was awesome. I think that, it's not just dog shit that Bill Burr creates like old dads. I thought F is for Family was great. He is.
Laura Dern was really good in that.
Yeah. And yeah, maybe, honestly, maybe he should just do work
Laura
that's in
Dern
that
was
arena
good. I don't think he was.
where he doesn't have to talk about politics or
he was whiny and a
try to
bitch.
justify his decision to go to Saudi Arabia.
She was hilarious. He was a whiny bitch in F is for Family. He was constantly complaining.
Yeah, it also, I saw Chad bring this up. I had no idea.
And there was red pill code stuff in there that I really didn't like. But they all kind of had that, like The Simpsons and like Family Guy and shit. They were all kind of red pill coded a little bit.
Did you know that he's going to be in The Social Reckoning, the Aaron Sorkin follow-up to The Social Network?
It must be a relatively small part because I haven't heard about that, but that's interesting.
Yeah, it's got this dude, Patrick Fischler, in it, a little homage to David Lynch. That guy's in Mulholland Drive, right?
And Twin Peaks: The Return.
Yeah, and The Return, definitely. Jeremy Strong's going to play Mark Zuckerberg. Uh-oh.
Yup.
Uh-oh.
Apparently, Jesse Eisenberg declined the offer to return in that role because this is a sequel to The Social Network. And it's
I've never seen
being
that.
directed by Aaron Sorkin, who wrote The Social Network. David Fincher's not returning to direct.
Yeah. So
I didn't know that. I didn't know The Social Network was Fincher and fucking Sorkin. That's crazy. Let's get that. I've never seen it.
hopefully it's good. Hopefully it's good. I have some healthy skepticism. I think that Aaron Sorkin's a better screenwriter than a director, but I think he's grown as a director, so I'm hoping that this is really good.
Yeah, I definitely don't think it's going to be as good as The Social Network. I'm just accepting that it's not going to be even in the same like ballpark of quality, but I'm just hoping it'll be like, on the same level as like Trial of Chicago 7, the other movie that Aaron Sorkin directed, which I liked.
Yeah, definitely, 100%. And hopefully the script is good and the performances come through. But
yeah, it'll probably be some liberal fucking bullshit, but
that's what you expect. You just are like, well, yeah, you know what? The West Wing music plays, and I'm like, you know what? I do believe in America. Yeah. Anyway.
And at the end, they were like, we liked the politics of Bill Burr because you're fucking right-wingers and I got tricked into watching your channel. So there it is. Sign sub, and I'm going to dislike this. Sorry. Nerd Slayer did Death of a Game, Throne and Liberty. Wow.
NCSoft. That's one of the titans of our virtual world, massive multiplayer or online RPG industry. Most likely, the biggest we have in the entire space, hailing from the East and South Korea. NCSoft made their name off of the earliness and subsequent superstardom of one of their first titles, Lineage, which as of 2025 has grossed nearly 10 billion USD in revenue, being one of the highest grossing games of all time. Not something we can typically brag about in our more niche industry here, up there with the likes of World of Warcraft of the West, or perhaps more. Unlike Blizzard in the West, speaking of which, however, NCSoft wouldn't only rest on their laurels, as they would make subsequent Lineage titles including mobile spin-offs and remasters that would prove to be widely successful even today. But few might know of a third game that was planned in the series, an official sequel, actually, to the first game, quite a long time ago as well. That's because this title would later morph into what we know in present time as NCSoft's Throne and Liberty, set to wow the world being a AAA MMORPG in the 2020s. Throne and Liberty would first launch in Korea in 2023 before waiting nearly a year to launch in the West, which they did in October of 2024 as a free-to-play MMORPG. Despite having a reported budget of over 100 million USD and a lengthy development cycle of nearly a decade, well, and being free, Throne and Liberty would lose 96% of its population less than a year after launch. Considering the stature and who this was coming from, NCSoft, one of the titans of our industry, had many people wondering, why? Why did Throne and Liberty fail to garner an audience in both the East and West, and what were the largest contributing factors to its failures? Luckily, that's exactly what we investigate on the Death of a Game series, which is what this is, utilizing a timeline of events filled with bits of evidence, developer testimonies, and more clues to uncover the mystery behind why Throne and Liberty was unable to maintain its initially large audience. Detectives, we have a case to crack for Throne and Liberty, or something like that.
My friend Dave, he was actually really offended when I was like, no, I don't think Throne of Liberty is a good game. I feel so bad for Dave. I was like, I'm sorry. You're not the only friend who I've offended with my terrible taste. I told Dave, I was like, that's cool if you like it, and you've been playing it in the closed beta and all that stuff. But I was like, I can see from the videos that I don't think this is a good game. I'm terribly sorry. And then I played it, and I was like, yeah, it's a good game, but it's not my game, which usually means it's bad, you know? I'm being left alone. I wasn't ganked the minute I went to go do this, which is good. Maybe I have a better corp affiliation now. A smaller, unaffiliated corp might keep me a lot safer than something like Absolute Order. I really don't know. You know, I was looking at corporations. Yeah, let's see. Apparently this Quant shirt, it's got 1,231.
The story begins far back, further back than you might be imagining, even. That's not because NCSoft is ancient, and they are, being founded back in 1997, but because the story of Throne and Liberty actually begins back in November of 2011, with the announcement of a new Lineage title dubbed Lineage Eternal. Lineage Eternal, and this might sound confusing, was actually a true sequel to the original Lineage, and if you're confused, that's fine, because a second Lineage already came out, but technically under a different denomination, and was styled differently as a game, being 3D, and allowing for first and third person play. Lineage Eternal, on the other hand, was a top-down 3D game just like the original was. We can see it first showcased at G-Star 2014, where it had a striking semblance to what would later become known as Lost Ark from Smilegate, another Korean developer. Lineage Eternal looked good though, considering how little ARPGs existed in a modern context in the West and East, besides the big ones like Path of Exile and, well, Diablo of course. This game version was actually designed utilizing the Guild Wars engine, which might surprise many watching. I think it looks and plays quite nicely from the small clips that were showcased. But the closed beta for the game would be reportedly delayed for a number of years before finally becoming a thing like 2 years later in November of 2016. Following the testing, NCSoft would receive enough feedback that would make them start to question their intention with Lineage Eternal altogether. They would go as far to change the leadership of their project altogether, bringing in a largely new, unknown leadership and moving from Guild Wars' proprietary engine to the Unreal Engine 4, likely opening up their accessibility in the process for their hiring too. Lineage Eternal would never come to light, sadly. Officially, Lineage Eternal would become something else, dubbed Project TL, November 2017, just a year later. For me, this signified major changes, not just a change of name. With the Lineage name no longer involved, this was not set to be their biggest game launch in the coming history, as that would probably be reserved to the new major Lineage title that they would ever drop if they ever do drop one, as it was their flagship series. And second, that now an entirely new IP had to be crafted, and that was not something historically NCSoft did very well or had a whole lot of respect for, especially in the West. Project TL not so secret once you figure out what the end result is, Throne of Liberty, but it was an entirely new project effectively, extending the development duration and budget for the game. Project TL would become Throne and Liberty years later in February 2022. According to producer Ong Jong-ok, Throne and Liberty would reflect the game's departure from Lineage and open up a new book on what was possible for new MMORPGs, gameplay, and possibilities. But the interview for me was a tepid one. It seemed like they were just merely acknowledging, hey guys, this isn't Lineage. Cool. Well, what was it? Was it ever going to be able to fully formulate its own identity too? Gameplay would be revealed in the spring of 2022, as well as more details concerning what was possible in the game. TNL featured high-fidelity graphics and a fast-paced, action-centric combat system, and allowed for interesting vehicle or minion play. At least that's what we could see from the early trailers. They even had things like a grapple hook to traverse the environment, large-scale PvP, boss battles, and in many ways was kind of looking like an Eastern version of Guild Wars. And that wasn't necessarily a bad thing, since it was bound to be more focused on some different things like vertical power progression in the form of gear, which Guild Wars wasn't focused on, so it had some hooks or fangs there. But it still could be its own great project too, but that was going to be a tougher task to ask, of course. The big info reveal, however, would happen later that same year, in September of 2022. Here we would meet the game's main design director, Moonsoft Lee, who I can't literally find anything about, including if he was ever even involved in Lineage or any of the other major projects at NCSoft, but we're gonna circle back on that later. Moon seemed to like the stress about the combat being a major feature in TNL, and how the weapon system would dictate how a player would play their class, so to say, instead of an actual class design.
Yeah, but there's no actual, like, RPG in there.
This meant they were tying the skills to the weapons themselves.
It's just you gather with a bunch of people and bash on something.
Instead, kind of like
Which I like public rating,
Guild
but
Wars 2, except it was worse because it would actually dictate your class as well, while Guild Wars 2 has a bunch of different classes that are able to use a bunch of different weapons. But this system is done in a ton of other games like ESO and so on and so forth. I find it really boring and unimaginative, since it's so hard to tie a class identity and thus lore and story and roleplay ability, which helps you, as a player have an identity, to just a weapon. But Guild Wars are called out in the Korean press release, a major part of Lineage 1 too, so it's not just biting Guild Wars, to be fair. How they were going about it though seemed to be kind of like a mixture of the two, Lineage and Guild Wars. Moon and On would promise there was a nice mixture of content in the game, and that Liberty in the game's name stood for the liberty to choose to play the game how you saw fit, which was a cool and lofty idea, but could also become a poisonous promise if not delivered upon. Instead, the throne part of the name, which stood for those climbing for power, could be all that there was. Throne and Liberty would be announced to the West and the rest of the world, really, June 2023. It's here we are, for the first time, conscious of NCSoft's intention on bringing the game to the Western market. Spark notes for those unaware, and why I'm even mentioning that as a particular point, is because many high-profile Korean titles never even come to the West, and the ones that do take sometimes years to transition. This creates a number of problems. mostly recycled content, little deviation from live even if it's in a different market, and delays in content and accessibility. NCSoft has globally launched titles before too, like with Ion, but typically hasn't done such a thing. While
And Ion
NCSoft
too.
has self-published in the West in the past, these days their operations there are much more scaled down after an inability to penetrate said global market. As such, they were looking for a publisher in that market to help them reach the success there. So I'm not entirely sure why they ended up picking who they picked, Amazon Game Studios. We just covered them like a couple weeks ago, and we have covered them multiple times in the past as a relatively new publisher, and, well, developer as well. They seem to be completely out of touch. This pick for me, when I saw it happen live, was a super red flag. What it told me is they didn't want to manage the game there, not just because it was hard, but because they likely wouldn't be making that much money from the amount of effort put in without having a localization publisher. It also told me they weren't really doing their research. But the issue with this sort of thing is merely that, well, who you choose, some developers or publishers in this case, can make some proper changes that end up making a difference. But if you end up choosing a bad one for the job of localization or globalization, one who just chooses it like a cash farm operation where you just translate, whatever language it comes from, well, you pay for what you get. And to be fair, a localization developer or publisher can't outright fix a game anyway. They can merely just steer it in a better direction and better explain it by translating it properly. For example, making some parts of the game easier or more accessible, based on the amount of grinding needed or something like that depending on the region. But after their showcasing, something would stick out like a sore thumb in their gameplay presentation. And that was this unnerving feeling that the game seemed to feature an autoplay system and was made for mobile. This is a game feature that is famous or infamous depending on your opinion or viewpoint in mobile online RPG gaming. Something NCSoft had been dabbling in and making bank on for the past decade already, including with their flagship series Lineage. Autoplay was stinky, even if people liked it, and didn't really have a place in PC MMORPGs. Reason being, it means the gameplay has to be compromised for it to be that way in some sense. Even more so if the game is also being made for console, which in this case it also was. This means that the combat in the game is easy enough and non-interactive enough to be able to be played automatically, which is not a good look, especially for the next best thing from NCSoft, or whatever. On Jong-uk's reception to people's feedback though seemed positive. They were open to changes, and even significant ones like removing the auto combat altogether, which they did. But the damage was already kind of done. The game clearly had been made for that in mind, which is why there was only 11 abilities, which meant players were getting a different game than they might have originally imagined, especially if it was looking to become Guild Wars for the Eastern
Fuck around
market.
and find out, developer.
Throne and Liberty would first launch in Korea December 7th, 2023, where it would manage to at least make the top 20 lists, which was nice, but not totally impressive when you consider some of the games that it was unable to score better than, like Ion 1 and WoW. And these aren't even super popular
Ion
games
1.
in Korea anyway. It seems that even amongst Korean gamers, Throne and Liberty was failing to impress, with the major reasons being cited for such as the game's business plan. Oops. Not a good sign when a market used to more aggressive monetization is complaining about your monetization. And the second big reason cited was the game's lackluster combat system. To explain why that's such a big deal, in the Eastern market, that's pretty much the main course dish of the games. Look at games like ArcAge, Blade and Soul, Terra, and of course Black Desert Online. These are very action-oriented Korean MMORPGs. And they would have some pretty good combat systems. Arguably, besides Guild Wars 2, features some of the best combat systems that we've seen a decade or more later. Throne and Liberty, according to Korean players, played worse than these games, and there didn't seem to be a significant payoff located elsewhere either. Not having a good combat system was a huge hindrance for Throne and Liberty's growth in the East, and was incredibly important because, as we've learned in the Death of a Game series, if a title from an Eastern publisher doesn't do well in their home market, even if the game turns a profit elsewhere, there's a high chance that they will still shut the game down, like they did with City of Heroes. If TNL didn't do well in Korea, it would have some serious ramifications that were impossible to skip for the rest of the world, such as content minimization, or delays, or worse, a server shutdown. But as things were moving along at launch in the East, at a slower than expected pace for NCSoft, who spent a reported $100+ million on Throne and Liberty, things were also moving ahead slower, but still in the West, with the closed beta, which would drop April 10th, 2024. Like with most, if not all of NCSoft's major titles, I was invited to test the game early on, and to be honest, I like what I experienced. I thought the combat looked and felt much better than when it was first teased. The combat was kind of like Guild Wars 2 or Arcade, but worse, with an action-style tap-target combat system that was a bit more tap-target than the others, but also felt just really weightless compared to both games. The game would allow you to switch between two main weapons, which would then change your ability to use certain abilities and thus your class as well. Depending on the timing of the NPC attacks, you could block or dodge them, or even dodge damage altogether. The guild systems being a major focus in the game was an interesting hook to me, as there are not many games on the market that are like that right now. But there was a little sneaky feeling I got when testing the game early on. How hollow it felt such a pretty looking game managed to feel. The same feeling I got when playing New World, ironically, but we're gonna talk more about that later on when the game launches. Following the Korean launch and their quarter financials being updated, NCSoft would make a surprising move and refuse to break out the revenue for their newly launched MMORPG Throne and Liberty, despite having done it in the past historically with their other titles. The only possible reason I can imagine for this is that, well, the game wasn't making how much money they were intending it to make. That wasn't a good look of things to come, and was a pretty major sign too. Sure, the West could end up liking TNL more than the East. I mean, Arcade did exceedingly well in the West, but considering the large criticism surrounding the game, which we will dive into more shortly, it wasn't very likely. As TNL was reaching its open beta in the West, in July of 2024, it was falling out of the top 50 in Korea. The West was so starved for a new game, though, that I would hear positive impressions from the game's open beta. Though part of that was also related to how little people got to actually test the game during this testing phase, making it quite hard to actually get a really good feel of how the game was set to be, since MMORPGs take more time than just a couple of days to make such assessments. The big kicker behind everything was the game was free, so many people like me, feeling lukewarm or not, would say stuff like, hey, give it a try, it's free, at least. That was going to open them up to some major markets, one they didn't have a lot of experience with despite popular belief from the outside, or even those watching now. But free-to-play also comes with its problems. A low barrier to entry is great because it means you can have more people playing your game or trying it out, but it also comes with its problems. A low barrier to entry also makes things like botting or gold farming far more effective and more accessible. It also changes how a game is structured, progression-wise, and how the game is intending on making its money, because games have to make money. The reason that free-to-play games are more so associated with pay-to-win, though, is because they have no choice but to nickel and dime you in some sort of way to make a profit. It's just that the level of which they do that and how much is kind of arguable, at least what is acceptable. Between NCSoft and AGS, there was likely little chance that either of them would make this realization that if they weren't careful on the monetization with their new game, they would turn everyone off the game, free or not, for different reasons. AGS, skill issue, but NCSoft got away with making more money to win games in the past. The difference being they were actually good and innovative games, and Throne and Liberty was failing to seem anything like that. Throne and Liberty would launch in the rest of the world starting September 26th, due to the early start afforded to those who would purchase a Founders Pack granting them early access. This pack would cost a whopping $40 and is a classic MMORPG and virtual world marketing tactic, as FOMO is a large core aspect of an online RPG. Though the service would face some downtime during this at launch, which would anger so many people that you can see who purchased this pack on Steam, making it a very negatively reviewed pack, claiming they should be afforded some money back or currency to account for the fact that there was downtime during this. Now, MMORPG launches are murky and there's always server downtime, but if you're going to make people pay for that kind of money, you better be feeling pretty confident you can pull this kind of stuff off. The rest of the world would get the chance to play the game, though, on October 1st, 2024, roughly 1 year after the Korean launch. Scoring a 72 out of 100 on aggregate review website Metacritic, IGN France would rate the game a 7 out of 10 and state that Throne and Liberty has enormous potential with its captivating world and universe, and above all, its highly successful and unique gameplay. While the story isn't groundbreaking, progress is slow but steady, and every moment is a delight thanks to the sumptuous art direction. However, it's not for everyone. Oh, by the way, this is a translation, as it requires a significant investment to fully appreciate what it has to offer. The cash shop also allows for a bit too much and risks negatively impacting the experience and game balance. That said, Throne and Liberty is free, and trying it out is worth a shot. I'm gonna call bull on the captivating world and universe, but maybe if somebody like that isn't used to playing online games like this, they might feel differently. MMORPG, on the other hand, would score it a 6 out of 10. The more seasoned of the reviewers and state that Throne and Liberty was a game I wanted to love. It was something I had anticipated for roughly a decade with the hope in my heart that it would be good.
Yeah.
I see the skeleton of something I adored. The massive PvP battles, the caution that came with entering places like the Ant's Nest to get rare jewelry, and the social component that I honestly sorely miss. But the poor localization and uninteresting story and reliance on PvP for progression makes the game a hard recommendation. It's a shame, because there is a glimmer of something great there, but Throne and Liberty just isn't that. But since I got the chance to test the game and also play it post-launch, I think I will try and offer some of my own personal take on the game, based on my 20-plus career in virtual worlds, having tested basically all of the major ones, especially the NCSoft titles. Throne and Liberty looks like there's a lot to it. But in reality, especially for those who've already played some of the major titles in the space, it doesn't offer anything newer or better executed than any of the games that you've already played. The complexity of the game is around the amount of power systems that it contains, with every single weapon having upgrades, armor pieces having them, and even skills. But that complexity is more about like needless complexity when you realize it's all organized around a power gear treadmill that incentivizes you to spend money on the currency needed to keep upgrading. The base leveling and combat experience early on in the game is incredibly easy and fast happening, serving more as a tutorial for the endgame experience as typical in most Korean titles. Sadly, the combat, though, despite looking flashy, is quite floaty and lacks any of the previous innovations of the previously successful action MMORPGs that I've already mentioned, such as things like physics-based attacks, comboing, and unique combat states. It plays like something that would have impressed you back in like pre-2010s. The story, I have no idea what the story was, and I don't care enough to go back and figure it out, despite going back and recording footage for this. It's totally forgettable. There's no memorable characters or big story moments in it, and it's somehow worse than the base story in Guild Wars 2, which came out 10 years prior. And it's certainly worse than ESO's base story, or Final Fantasy XIV's, or other possible competitors. Meaning if the story isn't better than any of the other games, well, then you pretty much have to make sure the combat's going to be better. And it's just not. It's not better than any of the titles that I mentioned. It's worse than ArcAge, Terra Online, Vindictus, Black Desert Online, and other iconic Korean action online RPGs. TNL is a hollow world where you can't remember anyone's name that you interact with in the game and reflexively skip the text to get to the next quest and to the endgame, which is level 50 and beyond. And if you aren't willing to team up with a powerful guild, good luck getting anything done or getting any world boss drops or participating in the world versus world form of siege battles or PvP around the map. There's nothing wrong with having a game be more group-focused or PvP-focused or whatever else, but the game also has to build or offer an environment that allows for that, and one that also makes it easy for players to group up and play together. And it still has to also allow for more than just one type of group play, which sadly in Throne and Liberty, it didn't. The majority of the game is centered around PvP, which is not that strange as it's typical in most Korean MMORPGs. That being said, the problem was if you're trying to relate to a Western audience with a formula that hasn't historically worked there besides Ion, and even that's questionable, you should probably make sure it doesn't come across that way. And, well, it's more accessible. Instead, TNL is built on the same core as ArcAge and Lineage was, both created by the same creator, Jake Song. Except he wasn't involved in this project, and there was no innovation probably because of it. That's accruing power and grinding to become more powerful, before your guild then is able to dominate other guilds in PvP. Whales versus whales, where the biggest spenders are the biggest threats. The difference being Lineage was one of a kind at the time it dropped back in 1998. And ArcAge was and is still one of the most innovative MMORPGs ever. Throne and Liberty, it feels like Unreal Engine 4. The MMORPG, which comes with its pluses and minuses, but mostly minuses as the incredibly generic world and graphics just do the game no favors. There's nothing wrong with the core of TNL being predictable, or being the same sort of content that we've seen before, but if it's not executed in a better or more exciting way than what we've seen before, it's not likely going to draw people away from the games they've already been playing regularly. TNL seems to have the exact same content ideas as Guild Wars 2 did, but 10 years later, with none of the same tools or features or innovation, and nothing else to show for it either. It feels like a game made in a vacuum, a common phrase I've been uttering when referring to virtual worlds in the past 10 years. According to IGN and reports from AGS, Throne and Liberty had reached a whopping 3 million players in just 1 week, and reached as much as 330,000 peak players on Steam. It should be stated though, that players could refer to someone just playing as little as just a minute, and it's hard to parse that data as something significant other than just meaning that it reached a lot of players. What's more important is how fast they would burn through said player base, or how fast they would gain new players. Speaking of burning players out though, that seemed to come kind of on accident, as AGS seemed to be oblivious to the fact that if they offered server transfers from early start servers to the fresh start servers, even if it was on accident, players who did that could ascend to a power level untouched, and do so as a guild, locking down parts of the world and map to even further assert their power. And that's exactly what happened. While AGS would course correct a little by forcing those players to transfer back, guilds were still able to lock down servers, and did so just like they did in World of Warcraft Classic. These guilds would team up and keep other players from even accessing parts of the map, one-shotting you instantly as you would load in or attempt to flee. They would then have access to major field bosses, dungeons, and later on, raids that you wouldn't. This is where PvP takes a major step into the picture, but ends up becoming just a major barrier to enjoy any of the other parts of the game too, and it clearly is the major focus in TNL. That's because there was almost no way to avoid
I think
the
acting
conflict,
like that
despite
proves
promises
that
of
you're
other
bad
ways
at
to enjoy the
PvP.
game.
That
can't
you
even
can't-
travel to
that
one
you
of these
can't
key bosses
have
or key locations
fair
without just getting
engagements.
whacked. And
Or
since
win
gear score
fair
matters so
engagements.
much in this game, even more than skill, which is
Because
either
the skill
classic
level's
KR
low, so
virtual
you have to
world
always
rat
have that
race thing,
advantage
or PvP is the
some way.
actual focus of the game, and PvE and grinding are just kind of like a means
Like
to
a chess
further and
player who gets
strengthen
to
that
consult
end.
the
You can literally
computer.
get one shot if you make any false moves,
What's the
making
point of
playing
it?
just after reaching max level quite difficult if you're not
There's no
willing to
fair
join an
play
already
or-
winning or big successful guild. While Arcade suffered from this as well, at least in that game you had a world to discover, and more things to do, like trade packs, fishing, traveling on your bow, and so on and so forth. Throne and Liberty was so empty. A few weeks after launch would be the update 1.3, which was well received because it would allow you now to queue for all dungeons at the same time, and now you couldn't kick players in the middle of a boss fight. Yeah, that was a thing. It was actually like a prominent thing. If you missed a key dodge or made a mistake, you could get kicked in the middle of a fight. That's because Throne and Liberty is an endless treadmill designed that way in its core systems. The amount of ways you can spend money on this game is insane, and the amount of things that you can grind are innumerable. Everything is set up just like a little dopamine casino hit, waiting for you to take or make your next hit. And because there isn't any uniting story or community aspects of the game, outside of your guild especially, players are more likely to be toxic to each other and not want to help each other. This is made worse by the fact that in order to even get your higher level gear in TNL, you have to endlessly grind the same dungeons. I'm talking about doing the same dungeons 30 plus times, because the most ideal thing is just completing the same dungeons that you already did and getting your tokens. And even then, that's the best case scenario. Some sets could take you even longer, because you're not guaranteed a drop, even for your weapon. Free-to-play players would naturally start running out of tokens needed to even do the dungeons in the first place, which was probably on purpose, right, and designed? Further time gating you. And before you say, hey, time gating is good because it makes content more approachable and casual, sure, that might be true, but TNL was allowing you to pay your way past this problem, which was just another way the game was incredibly pay to win. Layoffs would hit the TNL team, which was sort of expected after its launch, with some positions becoming redundant. But Vice was reporting there was more than just that, with the possibilities of mass layoffs. These layoffs were met with a company restructuring, the spawning of 3 new game studios under the NCSoft banner, with one, Studio X, now being in charge of TNL. This studio, led by the producer Moon-young Choi, who took over after An Jong-ok departed, would now be in charge of handling TNL's affairs and future content. Leaning up by NCSoft in preparation for their post-launch window for their next game was worrying. When Leaning Up was taking chunks out of their company, this was a game that was built on adding content consistently and building that game, its mechanics, and its world. They couldn't afford to lean up too much because they already spent so much money on the game. When you've spent more than 100 million on a game, that means that your ROI is expected to be at least double, triple, if not more than that. To accomplish something, that's a lot of success that you're expecting. That means out of all of the 3 million players who tried the game in that week, they would have had to spend $33 on it each. Meaning if you're trying to build a free-to-play game that milks you over time, even that wouldn't make enough money in such a short time. It would take them a year or years to make that kind of money back, if they ever would. But these layoffs were likely coinciding with the lack of success, with TNL back in the home market of Korea. Within 1 month, and the peak population would half or more. Showcasing that free-to-play or not, the player drop rate wasn't going to be outpaced by the entrance rate. This hemorrhaging rate was nearly unstoppable at the rate in which it was going, and it was going to eventually lead to the death of the game. November 13th, 2024, and a major update would trigger, bringing with it some much requested changes. One of them being a highly requested and utterly random that it was even in the game, Peace Mode World Boss change. These changes would have a timer to spawn a safe passage portal to go fight the world boss. This would allow for some players, for the first time, the chance to go fight the world boss. Now that's awesome, but it highlights an even worse problem of the game, and arguably one of the biggest problems of the game for those who've actually played it, and that's the gear treadmill in the game. Yeah, sure, you probably correctly expected an intense one when it comes to a Korean MMORPG, especially an NCSoft one, but the gear treadmill in TNL wasn't just big and problematic, it was totally boring and robbed you of it. One of the greatest joys of playing an online RPG, and that's looting and powering up your character. Finding quality gear is tough, and actually achieving and grabbing said armor pieces is even more tough, because you're basically just juggling tokens up until you can finally pull the piece that you want, which is
awesome.
not
I can't be
guaranteed,
touched
and it
for
could
another
take you
10
dozens of
hours.
dungeons or raids to even achieve. It's less of let's do these high-end content pieces to get paid, and more like let's do these high-end content pieces and maybe get something, which isn't as motivating for an online RPG. The carrot on the stick is supposed to be motivating you, not outrunning you. Seeing people wear nice gear and wanting to see your own character progress is the thing that keeps you going. You don't want it to become a source of pain or anxiety, reminding you that you aren't good enough, and you should spend more money, since that just kinda reminds you of the real world. And well, they want you to spend money to circumvent the problems. That's why Throne and Liberty, I say, feels more like a casino or a pachinko machine than a video game. You have a massive cash shop and essentially everything is purchasable. And if you want to compete with the top guilds, you won't have a choice but to spend money, especially when the combat is not so skill intensive, so gear advantage is even greater. Sure, TNL is free, but playing the game has a good chance of opening up your pocketbook no matter what. And what is there to
It's so
play or
boring, it's
enjoy
just
without
like-
spending money?
And WoW's kind of like this too, except you do like travel all over the place, and I don't know, like
Is not
WoW's kind
even
of boring
really
like this too now.
Worth it anyway. Call of the Spear, the first major content update for the game, would drop December 4th, 2024, and introduce the Spear weapon, which of course functions like a new class in the game, coming with it a new stat to boot. But this wasn't the only change in that update. There was also new content in the form of custom lobby PvP matches and a custom difficulty dungeon system. They even would add a rune system, which would further allow you to amplify your character and, well, how much money you would spend on said character, with you needing to purchase a rune hammer, which then would allow you to RNG reroll for superior stats. Sound familiar? With every major update,
Like
there
Terra,
seemed to be also
yeah.
more ways added to make money off of you, as if they hadn't made enough or anywhere close to it. And, well, they probably hadn't. NCSoft wasn't seeing the kind of return on their investment that they wanted. And AGS, well, they just had a contract to handle the game. They were just collecting money, what money they could extract, and weren't really worried about the bigger picture anyway. Showing the lack of success of the new MMORPG would be a massive server merger happening in February of 2025 and turning 107 servers into just 25 of them. By this point, the peak population also would hit under 40,000 players, and while it would jump up above one more time, it would never.
I'm going to stop here, guys. You have been watching Skycatlive. I'm a full-time variety gamer all day, every day. Put me on in the background. Click on the cast face donate. Come to the Twitch or the YouTube. Give me a like, sub, or a follow. Click on the cast face to donate. It's a PayPal link. I have many thousands of videos on my YouTube channel, which is reflected here. I'm going to stop this video here, and I will post to my channel. I'm getting lots of hits lately, which is cool. You can see I'm getting a little bit more hits lately, which is good. And You know, and I'm gonna keep on going. I'm gonna keep on pushing with you guys, and you know, it feels good to be back in the Mortal and Eve and Once Human groove. I think that's a good groove. You know, put my needle on the groove. For one thing, they're all sort of new in the respect that Eve Online's not new, but Mortal and Eve aren't really new, and neither is really, you know, Once Human. But Once Human is just like Rust. But I mean, so they're kind of old concepts, but they're solid concepts, and I like them. I'm gonna go to work on another gray wood. I don't know why I moved. This tree was actually fine. All right, there we go. Okay, so I DC'd. Oh, cluster shutdown. Yeah, for like 20 minutes. Great. Well, okay. So on that note, I am going to stop this video and post it. So I love you guys. Thank you so much. You've been watching Skycatlive. Tune in tomorrow. I'm going to play some more video games. I don't think I have distraction tomorrow like I did today, which is good. So here we go. Are you sure you want to start recording?